I'm weird. Get used to it now. I've been weird my whole life. It's not about to change. Don't. Weird is an odd thing. It's not something people become accustomed to. I get into fights quite often just because of who I am. The exterminator was at my apartment the other day, and he's like, hey, buddy, call me if the ants come back. And I'm like, fuck you. I would call a different exterminator. And he got mad at me, but I'm like, think about it. I'm right. Yeah. I'm honest and literal, and those aren't necessarily qualities people like, but I've always been weird, right? There was a word for it growing up. It's not the word anymore, but it was Asperger's. That word has shifted. That's offensive. White women with purple hair will call me names for saying it, but it's weird to have a thing that's not a thing anymore, right? Like, I've had the same therapist since I was younger, and I'll never forget when she called me into her office. I was much younger. She goes, hey, Dan, just so you know, Asperger's is now mild autism. And I'm like, whoa, slow down a little bit. That's a big shift. My thing is I've hated change my whole life. And you think this is the one. Can we meet in the middle? But no, I didn't mind that. That one was, I got used to that. Mild, that's not the word anymore either, but that was nice. You sounded like a human in a little bit of a wing sauce, you know? Like, hey, how are Mango Habanero Dan? I enjoyed it. They switched that. Now it's autism level 1, which no matter how many times you ask your therapist, you can't make it to the next level. It's you are the one that you're given. There's no final boss Rubik's Cube I could beat. But no, I don't mind the word, right? I was fine with Asperger's. I don't mind autism. It's just I'm from Jersey. There's a small perception of mental health there, even still. So if I say I'm autistic, what do people say? You don't look autistic. And it's like, yeah, I'm not chewing Legos, man. Like, I'm not going to break down this whole condition for you if that's how you're opening. But I stand up for my people when I can, because certain things, when verbiage changes quickly, some people get looked over. Like, one of the pride organizations recently put out a new pride flag that had the autism logo on it, and some of us were like, whoa, how did you get us on your team? Like, we don't mind what you're doing, but how didn't we get our own flag? If there's ever a group that likes a flag, it's us. Also, we're not the same. Like, you do you, but I'm counting things. I'm not sucking dicks. I'm not homophobic. If you need dicks counted, call me up, you know? Thank you. I'll count every cock in this room, you know? I'll line you up in size order. We'd be an easy group to make a flag for, quite honestly. Put a T-Rex or a train on a banner, most of us will be happy. Yeah, dude, it's not all bad at all. New York actually is one of the few states that tried to pass a law where autistic people got their own licenses. It was the same as yours, it was just shaped like a dinosaur. It just didn't fit in the wallet, you know? You get pulled over, officer, my ID is extinct. That was one of the slowest laughs off to the right, thank you. Nah, dude, I live a good life. I'm getting married in 4 months about. Yeah. Thank you. You're all invited. Next season, Love on the Spectrum, you'll be there. Just kidding, I bagged the normie. I got one. I'm excited to get married. I got along well with her because of who I am. I connect with animals better than humans, and she had a rescue dog. I got along with the rescue dog right away. That's what, if you connect with someone's dog, because I've always identified more as a rescue dog, you know, like I feel like I don't like loud noises, fireworks, I'll run away for a little bit, you know, like I have bitten a few people in my life, so when you bring me around your friends, you got to be like, hey, he's rough around the edges, but he's a good boy. Like, I scratch him on the belly, not behind the ears. So, like, when I hung out with her for the first time, her dog was there, and I was like, hey, can I play with him? And she's like, he doesn't always love his toys. But I was like, so I got down on the floor, and I took a water bottle, and I put a sock over it, and I threw it at him. And he went nuts. He started playing with it. He loved it, and then started playing with his other toys. She's like, how'd you know? I'm like, that's what my grandma used to do with me. Sock water bottle was a big thing. I mean, she would put nickels in it, so it was a little more entertaining, but I didn't want to give the dog a nickel. We're young to get married, so we're in our 20s. I didn't age necessarily the best way. Someone made a noise on that, thank you. I know, I look like I grew up in a lighthouse. It's tough. It's a specific reference. I love lighthouses. I was in Rhode Island doing stand-up. I visited a lighthouse. A man walked up next to me. He's like, hey, what year was it built? I was like, 1967. I'm okay with those things, you know? And then he's like, what type of light bulb do you guys got up there? And I was like, shit. You think I'm the guy? You think I live alone by the water? But see, I have reasons for the way I'm 29. When I was 23 and a half, I weighed 354 pounds. So like when you lose that much weight, your body it goes through a drastic shift. So like, genuinely no like silly joke coming. 354 is my heaviest weight. When I was 23, I was almost killed by a drunk driver driving home from a show. Don't worry, it's not sad. I crashed into him and he was drunk. It was the luckiest I've ever been. But that was my second chance on life, you know, sponsored by Geico, of course. It was actually his fault. He parked his car in the middle of the highway and fell asleep. But like I spruced it up a little bit. The funniest thing he did was he got out of the car and he had a pill bottle and he went to throw it into the woods, but he just spiked it right into the ground. And the pills, I'm like, it's a crime scene now, watch out. But that was my second car accident in the span of 3 months, so I kind of used that as the second chance on life. And the doctor kind of kicked me in the ass, you know. He walked into the room, he's like, son, you broke both your feet, you have a head injury and a fatty liver. And I'm like, that last one was personal. I've had a fatty liver, dude. I didn't just get this. The airbag didn't hit me and make my liver fat. Like he's like, you've been diagnosed? I'm like, I'm 354. You think I'm just, like, my liver's not sneaking out and going to Planet Fitness. There's 3 rolls of fat on my neck. The liver is compromised, doc. I loved losing weight, man. I did it myself before the Ozempic came along. I had no idea how easy it was gonna get. I did it through running. I'm a crazy long distance runner, so I run like ultra marathons. Those are races longer than marathons. Don't worry, I'm not like a good athlete. I do 2 a year on mushrooms. Everything else is stoned. That's how I lost all the weight. It's so funny. People be like, how'd you lose the weight? I'm like, running. They go, that's so boring. Not how I'm doing it. I am never alone in those woods. I've run with dinosaurs. Do you know how fun that is for me? I'm classifying each one. Nah, genuinely, I just ran, lost the weight. I mean, I don't miss being heavy, but like, your friends treat you differently for sure. They'll tell you how fat they thought you were, but only after you lost the weight. And they'll do it in very tongue-in-cheek ways. Like, I was talking to my buddy about the Pizza Hut buffet. I don't know if anyone grew up with that. There was a time Pizza Hut had a buffet. You paid them a small amount of money and you could sit there pretty much the whole day. And they had a salad bar at the Pizza Hut buffet. And at the salad bar, they had 2 jugs of vanilla pudding. I told that to my buddy and he's like, are you sure it just wasn't ranch dressing? And I was like, how fat do you think I was, man? That I was just sitting down with a bowl of ranch like, oh, this is some good pudding, huh? They put parsley in pudding now. Who knew? But yeah, the car accident sprung the weight loss forward, man. I'm very thankful for it. I do. It's weird though. After shows, people could be so cruel. Like the amount of people who come up to me and they'll be like, I don't believe that you were 354 pounds. I don't believe that you're autistic. And it's like, what do you want me to pull my stamp collection out from underneath my extra skin? I mean, I still, like, the car accidents didn't throw me off. I still love driving, man. I live in Jersey, so I'll take my car home. It's my safe space because you could charge your phone in the car. I love that because it's like a free game in life, you know, when you drop the phone down the car seat and it's still plugged into the charger. Because you slowly want to pull the phone up. You don't want to lose it underneath the seat. It's one of those free games in life, like a tangled headphone. Some of you hate it. When you tangle your headphone, hand it to your buddy with Asperger's. It's a free puzzle. That phone drops down the car seat. I have a weird sense of humor. I pretend the phone is a Chilean miner, you know? I need to save it. I'm like, hold on, Carlos, hold on. I'm gonna get you out of that cave, buddy. Carlos sounds offensive, but when those 33 miners got stuck underground in Chile, 3 were named Carlos. That's funny enough to think about it. Like, not funny for the Carloses. They all lived, but a tough day for them. More so funny for the wives, right? Because it was a small rescue operation. 1 man at a time coming up. They're like, who's coming up? Carlos. They're like, which one, you idiot? There's 3 of you. What color is your thermos? Verde! You know? I tell that whole story to tell one man story. One of the miners, his name was Yanni. He was not Carlos. You could Google this after the show. Yanni was one of the 33 Chilean miners. He got caught cheating while he was stuck in the hole. Because his wife and his mistress showed up, and they were like, I'm here for Yanni. No, I'm here for Yanni. If only he was Carlos. Thank you, guys. I'm Dan LaMorte. Have a good one.